Making lyric videos for underrated singers. This time I'm going to make a lyric video for an artist called HELN. The lyrics tie in quite nicely with science, particularly biology, chemistry, physics and astrology. So I came up with the idea to present it in a sort of science book kind of way. This is the overall vibe that we're going for. I've got a really cool idea for the pre-chorus to this video that I really want to try out, so let's build the pre-chorus together. Okay, whilst I was doing some research, I found this on Pexels. Now for context, the song is about love and I'm using a lot of heart imagery and very much trying to stick to like the factual sciencey side of the visuals. I was thinking maybe have this trace on, have the lyrics sort of littered across this line and then have the camera move across it and to follow the heartbeat monitor line. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. Okay, I've just taken the pen tool and traced over that, so I'll show you what it looks like without. What I like about this picture is that you're really having to focus on here, on the middle bit, because there's so much blurring happening here. And there's also a slight angle to it, like if it's not completely flat on. I also really like the grid pattern on this paper. It feels really academic, it reminds me of school. Okay, this is where I'm at. I've decided to just do 3 of the lines for now. I do want to add, actually, I have added some roughened edges onto the lines. So it kind of just makes it feel like more of a organic pen situation rather than a digital vector. Okay, here's my grid. It's a texture from Texture Labs. I also added a trim pass to this, which if you don't know what it is, it's a really easy effect to do. You just go into the layer that you want to add it to, and then you go into add, you go into trim paths, and then you can animate the start and the end. You can choose how it shows up. I'm gonna put some lyrics in, make it look a little bit better, and then animate the camera. So all I know at this point is I want the lyrics to be near the heartbeat so we can see it. And I want the camera to move from left to right. Okay, I think this is working out quite nicely. If I just go through very quickly, I really like how you can still see the grid through this line here. And I like that the camera follows that line until the next lyric. I think now is a good time to start building out this scene. I think for the effect I'm going for, I definitely need some more textures and potentially some diagrams as well, or some images. We'll see what I can come up with. Okay, I found a bunch of stuff and shoved it in, but please bear with me. I know this looks really crazy right now. It doesn't look harmonious in any way, but as I'm working, I'm testing the camera. So I actually ended up pre-composing everything and then putting it in a separate composition for the camera because it was just getting a bit confusing. So if I go in, I really hope you can see the vision. It's starting to come together. I think it just needs some texture now. This is my absolute favourite website at the moment. Before I go any further, actually, this is not sponsored in any way. I just like this website. I really like things like halftones, but for this project specifically, I think I need to be going maybe more into the grunge or maybe even paper. Let's start with paper and then go from there. Okay, are you ready to see just how powerful these textures can be? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just adding a little bit of a light here. So that looks already so much better. Let me go back to the composition with the camera and you can start to see how it's coming together. So it's bringing out some really interesting details. Can you see in this line, you've got some bright red speckles here. You can see the light coming from the left. It's adding so much visual interest to this, it's crazy. Lastly, I want to add some blurs to make this feel more organic, as if we're looking at it up close. And this is a technique I learned from my pal on YouTube. So if you want to look up any sort of tutorials, he is so good. I'm going to fractal noise. And this is going to be the map that the blur effect will use to determine what's sharp and what's not sharp. So once I've played around with this, I'm going to add a new adjustment layer, camera lens blur, and map the camera lens blur to the blur map and make sure it's set to effects and masks, so that when you hide the blur map, you can see we're starting to get some blurred patches through. I'm going to play around with the blur map so that we're not getting this much blur. I just want it to be really subtle. Okay, this might not even be that noticeable because I'm trying to keep it subtle. So can you see how sharp the B is? and then how blurry the UR is. I want people to still be able to read it. I really loved this idea of making it like a book and keeping it really organic. I usually come into a project with an idea like that and then I just try to explore it as much as possible. So the tighter the creative restraints, the better I tend to do. I'm going to show you the final video in a minute, but make sure you follow Helen on Spotify. The song is called Written in Our Bones. Go check her out.
Can't deny this heart that's racing, burning just for one. Your voice calls me, pulls me back, and